It is 1837 in the village of Angers, near the Jura Mountains of eastern France. A 16-year-old boy ties a small bundle of clothes to a stick, kisses his mother on the cheek, and walks out the door. He has no money, no trade, no plan beyond a single stubborn belief that Paris is where a poor boy can become someone. His name is Louis Vuitton. He does not know it yet, but the road ahead will take him from sleeping in freezing forests on the edge of the city to stitching the trunks that kings, emperors, and explorers will trust with their most valuable possessions. The company that will one day become the world's most iconic luxury fashion empire did not start in a glittering salon on the Champs-Élysées. It started in a cramped workshop behind a dusty Paris street, with a homeless teenager turning raw canvas and clever locks into a promise that what you carry can be as precious as what you wear. You are watching American Electronics and Tech, where we take apart the companies that built the modern world down to the circuit board and the engineer who designed it. If this is your kind of story, subscribe and hit like, because the house that now defines luxury began with a penniless runaway, and the road from there to here is just as improbable as it sounds. Louis Vuitton's journey begins long before the first monogrammed bag rolls off a production line. It begins with hunger. In 1835, France is still shaking off the turbulence of revolution and empire. The countryside is poor. Opportunities are scarce. In small villages like Angers, life is measured in harvests, church bells, and the slow rhythm of the seasons. Louis is born in 1821, the son of a farmer and a laundress. He learns early how to work with his hands, shaping wood, mending tools, watching his mother scrub and press clothes for wealthier families. But the pull of Paris is stronger than the pull of the land. At 13, he asks his parents for permission to leave. They refuse. He is too young. The city is dangerous, so he waits. 2 years later, at 16, he tries again. This time, he does not ask. He walks. The journey from Angers to Paris is more than 400 kilometers, a trek that takes weeks. He sleeps in barns, under bridges, and in the cold edges of forests. He trades labor for food, chopping wood, carrying water, fixing fences. By the time he reaches the outskirts of Paris, he is exhausted, hungry, and alone. But he is in Paris. In the city, survival is a daily negotiation. Louis finds work as an apprentice to a trunk maker and packer named Maison Vuitton. The workshop is small, the hours long, the air thick with the smell of glue, leather, and sawdust. Here, he learns the craft that will define his life. Trunks in the 1840s are not the sleek, branded suitcases of later decades. They are heavy wooden boxes, reinforced with iron, built to survive months of travel by carriage, boat, and train. They are also easy to break into. A skilled thief can pry open a lock, slit a seam, or lift a lid before a guard even notices. Louis watches. He listens. He asks questions. And he begins to imagine something different. What if a trunk could be light enough to carry, strong enough to survive rough handling, and secure enough that only its owner could open it? What if the way you traveled said something about who you were? By 1854, after nearly 2 decades of work, savings, and networking, Louis Vuitton is ready to bet on himself. He rents a small workshop at 4 Rue Neuve des Capucines, near the Place Vendôme in Paris. Above the door, he paints a simple sign, Maison Vuitton. He is 33 years old. He has no investors, no famous clients, no grand advertising. He has a craft, a vision, and a belief that quality will speak for itself. The first Vuitton trunks are made of canvas, stretched over a wooden frame, covered in gray Trianon cloth to protect against rain and dirt. They are flat-topped, stackable, and reinforced with iron corners. But the real innovation is inside. Louis designs a special locking system, a single lock that secures the trunk in two places, making it far harder to pry open without damaging the case. In an age of theft and uncertainty, security becomes a selling point. Word spreads among the wealthy travelers of Paris. Railway stations are crowded with people heading to the coast, to the mountains, to the spas of Europe. Their luggage is bulky, fragile, and often damaged. Vuitton's trunks are different. They survive the journey. They look distinctive. They say, without saying a word, that their owner values order, craftsmanship, and discretion. By the 1860s, Maison Vuitton is known among the elite as the place to go if you want the best luggage money can buy. But Louis is not content to serve only the rich. He wants to serve the world. In 1867, he exhibits at the Universal Exposition in Paris, winning a bronze medal for his trunks. In 1869, he receives a commission from Empress Eugénie, wife of Napoleon III, to create custom packing cases for her wardrobe. Royal patronage is the ultimate endorsement. Other aristocrats follow. Dukes, counts, and industrialists begin to order Vuitton trunks for their journeys to Egypt, India, and the Americas. Each trunk is custom fitted to its owner's needs. Compartments for hats, shoes, dresses, jewelry, even portable writing desks. Louis Vuitton is no longer just a trunk maker. He is a solutions engineer for the global elite. But the story does not end with Louis. In 1892, he dies at the age of 71. The business passes to his son, Georges Vuitton. Georges inherits not only the workshop, but also a growing challenge. As the Vuitton name becomes more famous, imitators appear. Cheap copies of Vuitton trunks flood the market, using similar shapes, similar locks, similar styles. The brand's reputation is at risk. In 1896, Georges makes a decision that will define the house for the next century. He commissions a new canvas pattern, designed to be instantly recognizable and difficult to copy. The result is the monogram canvas, a beige background covered with interlocking LV initials, four-pointed stars, and floral motifs inspired by the Art Nouveau style of the time. It is bold, it is elegant, it is unmistakably Vuitton. The monogram is not just a design, it is a defense, a legal weapon against counterfeiters, a visual promise that what you are buying is the real thing. By the early 1900s, Vuitton trunks are traveling the world. They cross the Atlantic on ocean liners. They ride the rails from Paris to Moscow. They accompany explorers into the deserts of Africa and the mountains of Asia. Each trunk carries not only clothes and objects, but also the story of a boy who walked hundreds of kilometers to reach Paris and turned survival into a craft. But luxury is fragile. The 20th century brings wars, economic crises, and changing tastes. World War I and World War II disrupt production, damage workshops, and scatter clients across the globe. After the wars, the world is different. Air travel replaces ocean liners. Ready-to-wear fashion challenges custom tailoring. The idea of luxury itself is questioned. Vuitton adapts. It expands beyond trunks into handbags, small leather goods, and accessories. It opens boutiques in New York, Tokyo, and London. It collaborates with artists, designers, and celebrities to keep the brand relevant. In 1987, Maison Vuitton merges with Moet Hennessy to form LVMH, the luxury conglomerate that will become the largest in the world. Under new creative directors, the house experiments with new materials, new shapes, and new audiences. The monogram appears on sneakers, backpacks, and collaborations with streetwear brands. The logo that once protected trunks from counterfeiters now appears on items that cost more than most people's monthly rent. But the core idea remains the same. Louis Vuitton is not just selling bags, it is selling a story. A story of a homeless teenager who turned necessity into invention. A story of a workshop in Paris that became a global emblem of prestige. A story that says, what you carry can be as powerful as what you say. Today, Louis Vuitton operates hundreds of stores in dozens of countries. Its products are made in workshops in France, Spain, the United States, and beyond. Its waiting lists for certain bags stretch for months. Its resale value on the secondary market often exceeds the original price. The boy who once slept in forests near Paris is now a name on buildings, billboards, and runways from Shanghai to Sao Paulo. And yet, the origin story remains the most valuable thing the company owns. Because in the end, the most iconic luxury fashion empire in the world was not born in a palace. It was born in the desperate necessity of a survivalist's relentless ambition. Louis Vuitton did not set out to create a global brand. He set out to survive. He set out to make trunks that would not break, would not be stolen, and would carry the lives of the wealthy across a rapidly shrinking world. The rest was a series of craft decisions, branding choices, and strategic expansions that turned a workshop into a legend. If you have ever saved for months to buy a Vuitton bag, inherited a trunk from a grandparent, or walked past a boutique and wondered what makes it so special, drop a comment below. Tell us your story. The people who carry these pieces know more about what Louis Vuitton built than any earnings report ever will. Subscribe if you want to keep building this archive with us.